Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for February 9th to the 15th. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Congratulations. You made it through last week's self-healing boot camp, and you had possible breakthroughs. Yeah, maybe some twists and turns, maybe some endings. That was that type of week. But you know what? And a lot of it may have been with like work and colleagues, employees, etc. But you're ultimately you're just preparing for your brand new era. Yeah. And this week is a little bit similar to last week, but it's also very different because this week you're standing at the edge of many timelines that are very possible for you, okay? And it's up to you to solidify them. Remember, next week is the big week with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, the, new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. There's so much happening. It's a packed week, but this is the week where you get to choose your path, right? You create your reality, but it's a week where you're really going to determine what is the path that I'm going to work hard for, or that will liberate me, and how badly do I want it? Do I believe in myself? Do I feel it deep down in my bones? Like, those are a lot of questions you might have this week. I mean, Neptune's already in Aries, so that's just, that can bring some blurred lines, some, blurriness and fog, like what is real, like what, right? As you actually adapt to a lot of changes that are already happening in your life. And, you may also ask yourself, am I willing to go the extra mile for my vision, for my future? Because Saturn is officially moving into Aries as well. Okay, joining Neptune, you're just going to start feeling more, responsibility, with Saturn, but it could also test your faith in yourself. So this is, and remember, we're still in Aquarius season. Yeah. So you're still questioning a lot of things as well. So this is definitely a time where you will be coming to terms with your truths, making things real for you. All right. And you'll notice that all the planets are pretty much like in one half of the sky. They're all clumped together, other than, Uranus and your ruler Jupiter. And we'll go over, that. But also this week we have our first North Node conjunction. And so if you're awake, if you're, paying attention, you might see things just click right into place for you, and you may feel them too. It's an emotionally moving week as soon as the week begins, even actually before the week, like Monday, not even on the whiteboard, right? We will have the moon in Scorpio still. All right. And I dropped these forecasts a few days before the actual week begins. So you may also remember Venus is squaring Uranus. So that's happening over the weekend. A lot of that spilling over this week. But the moon in Scorpio, which already has intensity, is not only squaring Venus, also going to be opposite Uranus and trine Saturn. We have a T-square. And so we'll talk about it in the second spread, where we do lunations and asteroids and planetoids. But just know this may be, a little bit of, there may be some emphasis around, love and money, and, maybe an emotional day. It's an emotional week. But remember, emotions are neutral. Yeah. It's where you put your energy that creates that, desired emotional experience that you're seeking. Remember the Latin root of emotion, emotere, energy and motion. Everything is energy. Vibrate at that high frequency. And it seems like you will, especially in home and family. On Tuesday, February 10th, you have Venus moving into Pisces, where she's exalted, meaning she thrives here. She's her most magnetic. She's joining Mercury all month. So you're going to think and feel with greater compassion, diplomacy, harmony, maybe a lot more, creatively. There's going to be a lot of emphasis on your values and relationships and money, but also remember Pisces rules your fourth house. So home and family, your ancestry, your roots, your foundations, but also like even real estate. Yeah, you may even decorate your home as Venus, right? So you may have plans for renovations. But this is the thing. It's like Venus and Pisces, the last zodiac sign, there is a sense of surrender for the dream. And it's okay to dream as long as you feel. That's what Venus in Pisces wants. For you to see the beauty in all things too and feel more devotion. I mean, this is just really soulful and very inspiring. It's like, Renaissance paintings, etc. Now, Wednesday, February 11th, the sun in Aquarius will sextile Chiron in Aries, 23 degrees. Last week you had Mercury, you had Venus, and you have the sun. All right? This, life force, right? Your purpose. This is you wanting to be seen for what you've overcome. All right? Remember, these are great aspects. With Chiron, allows you to heal old wounds. And this is for you, this aspect to show courage and confidence and, self-acceptance, that your past wounds are just chicken scratches. Yeah. You're doing so much healing and feeling optimistic about your brand new era and the new you emerging. Remember, not letting your past wounds define who you are and who you will be, moving into this brand new era. A lot of this will have to do with family. Like, again, it's not just your fourth house. I mean, all this, remember, we're in Aquarius season still, right? We have Mars in Aquarius. A lot of energy there. Aquarius rules your third house, which is siblings and, aunts and uncles and, distant relatives, cousins. But then remember, Aries rules your fifth. And so that would be like true love. It's, family and children as well. But that's the house of like joy and pleasure. So you see how you have so much happening in the home space, right? And even still, it is just, again, like more about you and filling up with this confidence. And, Venus and Pisces is also like forgiveness, forgive and forget, self-love. So really good timing with Venus and Pisces. And you just could feel really empowered this day, especially because the moon will be in your sign. All right. And so you're definitely going to feel these energies. And, the moon in your sign is just, it's all about self-belief. Yeah. It's all about you expanding your horizons. It's very adventure seeking. Just make sure that you're able to distinguish your dreams from non-reality, like from La La Land. Yeah, it's Saturn and Neptune. They're already merging their energy. Saturn's at 29 degrees, right? So it's Neptune's at 0. It doesn't matter if they're in different signs. They're basically conjunct. And then you do see that the sun squaring Uranus over the weekend. You may start feeling it around this time, just letting you know, okay? And Eris, Mars' sister, disruptor, is right on top of Chiron. So just let you know that too. With this aspect, you may be doing a little bit of, ripping off the Band-Aid with this aspect. But we'll talk about more in the second spread. If you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your husband, Todd, your best friend, doesn't matter. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and I'm throwing in the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and you will feel this aspect the most. If you have any planets 21 to 25 degrees in any of those signs in your natal chart, you would feel it the most. Now, Thursday, February 12th, listen, this is it, right? Mercury conjunct the North Node in Pisces, 9 degrees. This is great. You've got Mercury, the messenger, in a sign that is, very spiritual. Yeah. And the North Node, the node of fate, is your mission statement. It's the direction you're going. So this conjunction is significant. It's very likely you could receive some, downloads or signals. There could be, a fated message that you receive, or even an epiphany, maybe something through your dreams. It is Pisces. Yeah. Maybe while you meditate, there could be some, like synchronicities, like, you see the 1111s and that, and you'll know if it's meaningful because it will feel meaningful to you. All right. And yes, it's Mercury conjunct the North Node, so you could also have like destined conversations. Maybe you receive some news around this time. And again, the big focus here would be home and family and parents, children, significant other, things like that, like real estate, it matters. As I mentioned, there could be something here just maybe like showing you or validating, your calling, maybe something opening up a new path for you, showing you a sign that you're on the right one. So just be very present, pay attention to the little things. And yes, time, important conversations that you need to have around this time, appointments. It is the butterfly effect. It's where, one call, one text, one DM, one decision could change your entire timeline. And so the other thing is that circle this day in your calendar because, well, two things here. One, Mercury actually goes into shadow right now. All right. 8 degrees. And it could, so you're going to start seeing a lot of people from your past, just, resurface. Okay. And Mercury shadow, by the way, it's like when Mercury hasn't retrograded yet, but it's just like dipping its toes. And so a lot of it may be family members. All right. It is your fourth house. The other, or even neighbors too, FYI. All right. Now, here's the thing. Mercury will go retrograde February 25th. Now, then we'll go direct. Mercury's going direct March 20th, but then we'll also leave shadow April 9th. That is a long time for Mercury to be in Pisces. But here's the big picture. All right. Mercury on March 20th, because Mercury's going retrograde and then going back direct, March 20th, Mercury will go direct at 8 degrees, meaning Mercury will conjunct the North Node again that day. Yeah, right at the spring equinox. And Mars will be there. Okay. It's triple conjunction. But the reason why you to write down this day, any actions that you take from this point forward, anything that happens, something will come up again. All right. You're going to be returning to something that, circumstances or events or news or whatever around this time. All right. Now, the other, and mutable signs, it would be Gemini, Virgo, you, Pisces, will feel this the most. And if you have any planets 7 to 11 degrees in any of those signs, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. You're also going to feel, by the way, the moon's still going to be in your sign, but it will square Saturn in Pisces this day. And so there may be a little bit of a squeeze. The fact that Saturn is in Pisces still in your fourth house of home and family. And this is the last aspect of this kind for another 30 years. We'll talk about the second spread. Now, Friday, February 13th, Saturn moves into Aries official 7:30 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. As we know, this is a landmark day. This is the third of the 4 outer planets changing signs. They're forming that prism portal, the rare grand trine, all aspecting that we've never experienced, right, in human history. And so Saturn, the last of the traditional planets, is all about discipline and hard work and commitment. And, he makes you really work. It's where you do feel him. And it's because he's in a, area of your life for 3 years, for approximately 3 years. Yeah, that's how long he spends in a sign. And so that's where you learn your life lessons and, become more responsible on his watch, right? He's also karma. So you put in the effort, you put in the work, he rewards you, you pass his test, you mature, you become an authority. Now, he's been in your fourth house for some time. You did not like that. You did not like that, Sagittarius. A lot of, let's just say, like, you had moments in home and family that may have felt a little heavy for the past few years. Saturn is officially leaving, okay? He's officially leaving, moving into Aries, all right? Fiery Aries, which is the I am of the zodiac, right? Sign that's young and pioneering and entrepreneurial, very driven, Mars ruled, right? He wants to just go, 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 go. But Saturn, Chronos, father time, is all about the long term. He likes to do things slow and steady. And so He's just like, nope, wax on, wax off, right? So it is, there may be some moments of practicing patience the next few years, especially, I mean, Aries rules your fifth house, which is so amazing. And so that's the house of joy and pleasure and, true love and romance and family and children and like so much joy in that and self expression, creative projects, creativity, procreation as well. A lot of y'all gonna be having babies, but that's the thing. Saturn is just bringing structure here. So, but also it's you're gonna start formulating things in this area of your life, and it's also like recreations and hobbies. You could even turn something that you enjoy doing. Maybe you play, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't even know if that's still a thing. Maybe there's like a new version, Game of Thrones and Dragons, whatever it is, and maybe you like find a way to like monetize it. But there's a lot here. There's a lot. This is definitely going to be Saturn saying you got to do the whole thing his way, no shortcuts, wax on, wax off, especially also in like leadership and business. But you're definitely going to be redefining your identity, and you're just going to feel a lot of this in your fifth house, right? So a lot more, so still a lot of attention with like love and relationships, and like things are just gonna get spicy for you when we get to April, when Uranus moves into Gemini in your seventh house of love and marriage and relationships. And yeah, and if you're not here for that, I mean, fifth house again, like a lot of like creative projects that you could be working on. Like it's all about the long term with Saturn. Yeah, so maybe writing a book, etc. Now, the other thing is, and very likely a lot of y'all may, with, when we get to the summer, remember Jupiter's moving into Leo in your ninth house, right? So, which is publishing. The other thing is, and the North Node, and you got Pluto there in Aquarius, yeah, over the summer too. That's your third house of like writing. So, wow. Y'all gonna be writing books. The other thing is that, yeah, I'll leave the Saturn Neptune video at the end of this video if you want to know more about what you can expect for the next 2 years of your life. Saturn's going to be here until 2028. Now, I would just also just really, pay attention to these days. You have Mercury conjunct the North Node in Pisces and Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries. How interesting is that, right? I mean, you've heard me say Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces for like years. No, you're gonna start hearing me say Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries, Neptune and Aries. But the karmic energy is just really strong, and also Pisces is the last sign, is endings. Aries is the first sign, is initiation, and so you're really gonna start to see changes around this time, and all the mutable signs are probably sighing right now across the world because Saturn is leaving Pisces. And so it really affected like all, Geminis and Sagittarius and Virgo and Pisces. Now, Sunday, February 15th, you have the Sun square Uranus, 27 degrees, the Sun in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus. So this happens twice a year. It's the first one this year. Something's got to give, right? This is two fixed signs, again, just like last week, but it is the Sun. So there is a little bit of, it's really just more about pivoting or, making those changes. As I've said, I actually I have this right now as I do this reading in my natal chart. And so I've been experiencing it, and I can let you know that, some things is, Uranus is the unpredictable, the unexpected. And with the Sun in Aquarius, yeah, I am in Aquarius. There's that rebellious energy, that, Aquarius energy is like all about freedom. So there is a chance that you will, around this time, give it a few days before and after, where you may feel this urge to break free from anything where you feel restricted. Yeah. Anything where you feel really restricted. And a lot of it just looks like work for you, like work or, maybe a relationship with a colleague, employee, or, your boss. There may be something here with health matters as well. It is your sixth house. And even, with all this Aquarius energy in your third, there might be even like, you just shifting the way that you see something. I mean, Aquarius energy is very future forward. Maybe pay attention about this shift, right? With that Saturn, but it is innovation as well, but breakthroughs. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Whatever happens, it's you. It's all about course correction. This is when you become the change. And there really also could be something with relationships and money here. All right. But a lot of adapting with, Saturn freshly new in Aries as well. But this is pretty big. Pretty big. So let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you. Oh, this day too, by the way. The moon will be in Capricorn, squaring Aries. A disruptor. The same day of the Uranus is disrupting, just letting you know. We'll talk about it in the second spread. It will be the fixed signs that actually feel this aspect the most: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. If you have any planets 25 to 29 degrees in any of those signs, yeah, you may, adapt. I mean, you're a mutable sign. You're good at adapting. All right, let's get started. Let's see what is going on for you, Sagittarius, for February 9th to the 15th. Sagittarius. Also, Monday, the Monday after, yeah, you may start feeling this on Sunday too. That's when we have Mercury trine Jupiter. So really nice you may feel that energy. Again, that just really amplifies that, especially relationships. There really may be something here. Yeah. Intimacy. There may be something here with, again, like money. But let's see what's going on this week. Sagittarius. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. And if we need to pull clarifiers, we will. And I love y'all. Are amazing. Sagittarius. This is gonna be a week where a lot of changes. All right. Let's see what's going on for you. Yeah, there's gonna be some changes. Yeah. Very interesting changes that you can see. This, like when I said endings, beginnings, and then next week is the big beginning, the great reset, right? And even the eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, like new beginnings. Like this is the end with all these planets leaving Pisces, right? The outer planets. Anyway, you do have that 7 of Pentacles, okay? And so it just feels like there may be something that you have been, working on. And it could have been long term. It could have been something that you have put a lot of time and effort into. This is a week, as you move into this week, you maybe even, again, I talked about these paths that are opening up for you. I think that you are at that intersection of, this path looks really great. This one looks really great. Is this what I want? Do I believe this is the best one? So remember, trust your intuition, connect with your intuition. And you will, that makes all the difference, right? But also, just again, with Saturn and Neptune, Saturn being reality, Neptune being fantasy, just really know what's true to you, right? What's true to you, you're going to be fine. But it does feel like there is a little bit of like, maybe you're thinking about your next step, and you're going to have to step. You're gonna have to move forward, all right? Because you do have that 5 of Cups as well, okay? In the heart of your spread. And so the 5 of Cups, it is indicating there could have been something that, happened in the past, and you're still holding on to that energy. Whereas you see 2 full cups behind this figure, they're ready to, they're full. You can't, unfortunately, we don't have the technology to change the past, right? But also, there's a huge difference between, the past and history, right? The past is, just more personal. And so you want to make your past history, right? And move in the direction that is your path. Cross that bridge, yeah? Go into your home, your huge castle. The bridge connects the past and the future, right? And so you want to move toward the future. But remember, this is a week and last week too, preparing you to just let go of everything. We're at the end. We're at the end here for your brand new era. And what did I say last week? You can't bring everything with you. You can bring your dog. You can't bring everything with you. And that includes a lot up here. You know, again, with the timing, the very eerie, timing that's perfectly placed before the Great Reset with Chiron and doing all this healing and self healing for you to become this spiritual warrior. It's, for you to use. And so this requires emotional healing, but also just coming to terms with that. Yeah. And it, it may be something that has to do with like relationships or emotions or feelings. That's what cups are. But whatever it is for you, you've got two people looking back. When you need to move forward, you have to move forward, right? And so this is a lot of like accepting truths, okay? Of accepting, realities, and again, coming to terms with it so it doesn't become another wound, right? Chiron. And so you've got this. You're going to be great. I'm going to clarify that in a second. I want to talk about this King of Pentacles. It looks like there is someone that could be, in the way. In the way. Could be a little challenging. Someone, the King of Pentacles, he's confident. He's very, very, also just very, pragmatic, very practical. He is, a big provider as well. And he is the richest king. But here's the thing, he's in your challenge area. So there is a sense of maybe there is an authority figure. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a boss, maybe there's someone here that you're not seeing eye to eye with. And this is someone that could have an impact this week, okay? Or could have been the one that has that impact, or is someone that you are like, is associated with something that happened in the past, or someone that's making you, feel that, with like a little bit of a bottleneck. So remember, it's all about compromise, diplomacy, having those conversations, and again, just making sure that you get to choose your path. All right. And the other thing is there may be a sense of like when I say finances and money and there's could be big themes here. Yeah, there could be something here where it is identifying for you what are the missing pieces, right? And in order for you to do that, we've got to clear this energy, right? Make room for new energy. If you're thinking about this new path for you, where there's structure, there's abundance, all of that. So bear that in mind. You have the Page of Wands in your crown. That's great. You're ready for something new. You're already exploring it. I love, the fact that you have Saturn and Neptune in your fifth. You got a lot to play with there in that fifth house. And so this is someone who is just very committed to, doing something new, and he's very inspired, and he's in it for the long haul. And this is someone who's following his passions, right? Ones are her passions, and it's just even taking action. It's this new energy, right? So it already seems like you have an idea of the fact that you do want change. I mean, you have the Ten of Cups and the root of your spread. And so the Ten of Cups is a card of, complete satisfaction and enjoyment. And it's the Ten of Cups. There's so much enlightenment here. There's so much joy and happiness. And you see the happy couple, happy kids, all of that. Again, that fifth house energy. And so, and even the fourth house, remember, you have a lot of home and family energy. And if none of that, this can be just anything that's going to fulfill you emotionally. It's cups. So it can be relationships as well. So whatever's happening here, it does feel like there's a little bit of this next chapter. All right. What comes next? Emphasis on relationships, home, family, children, all of that, even creative projects, but just you emotionally, right? Like where, like I said earlier, like, do you feel this in your bones? Do you feel it in your soul? Like, is feeling emotionally moved. Now, you also have that Ten of Swords too, all right? So Ten of Swords in your future. And listen, that is just, it's the end. All right. This is you putting things to bed. That's taking up way too much headspace. Just like a lot going on up here. Um, 10 is the end. So you've got these two tens. You have the Page of Wands. There is, and 5 really is change. And so this is going to be an enormous week of change for you. All right. And it almost feels like you know it, but it's, remember what I said, like, it's great to be aware in the moment. It's great to be present in the moment and let go of that. All right. Having that game plan moving forward, because this is, endings right here. And it is the card of new dawn, the 10 of swords. So it is saying like it's over. You're about to move into a place where you have this way to, you can clear the decks, have peace of mind, and learn from any challenges that you went through. But at the same time, remember, it's a highly karmic week too. And so his hand gesture is the same as a Hierophant. So there's a sense of like blessing in disguise. There may be something here that may be challenging for you to do, but once you do it, it's over, right? And then you can rise above with the sun and start this brand new chapter. Seemingly something that you do want, but it's almost like you have to see it. You have to see it. I'll clarify. I'm going to see that 10 of swords. You 2 of pentacles. Yeah. So there's, it does feel like there may be and something new is going to be emerging with that 2 of pentacles, because there is a sense of like, balancing things out. It's like, he's the juggler. It may have to do with work. It may have to do with money and finances. So it is a good sign, but at the same time, it's like, it's all about prioritizing. Like, you want to be able to, have everything balanced in your life. There's a lot of imbalance in the 2 of pentacles. But it does indicate like there may be some, you are deciding on your path, but you have to not, there's a little bit of like just ambivalence too. All right. Let's get to your stuff. This is big. This is big. Oh, I actually want to see that 5 of Cups too. Sagittarius, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you subscribe, leave comments, all that. Tell me what's going on. This is a big week. Yeah, there may be some, I mean, Uranus is, again, just really strong right now. And you do, I mean, I love, okay, let's see, yeah. This is going to be there's like the biggest change that you're going to have this week. There's a lot of change. You have the 3 of Swords, okay? And so, again, I think that's really speaking to that 10 of Swords. We've got to let things go, not only, here in your physical world, emotionally, but also up here. Yeah, 3 of Swords is, we call it the heartbreak card, etc. But it's still a sword suit, right? So up here, okay? And so it's really seeing things in a new way. And it's hard to see when you're looking back. You have the Tower, yeah? Okay, in your external factors area. And so I'm getting a feeling I'm going to look at that again to the 2 of Pentacles. I'm getting a feeling like that's not good enough, right? Like, it's like, it's kind of like you've moved the needle forward a little bit. So I want to see something here. But the Tower is, yeah, it's the Tower. But don't be afraid of the Tower. The Tower sometimes is necessary. Sometimes things can just be stuck. Sometimes there are forces out of our control. And the Tower doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, right? So it looks like there may be some big event that's associated with the 5 of Cups and, even like that 10 of Swords. But, when the Tower falls, you can see. And maybe there's something that you're not willing to see moving forward. It's like maybe you haven't had closure about something here, all right? And then you do have Justice, indicating, yes, there is a sense of, like, I want to fix this, but you still have to move forward. You still have to move forward, all right? This is also indicating, well, let me see. It may, like, there may be something here uh, with, like legal matters as well. Even like the courts, there is something here that you're seeking justice for, but definitely can be relationships. Okay, that's love or career or even personal relationships. And the justice card is like highly, karmic. Um, and then you have that nine of wands. So, and your final outcome. And so I just feel like you got the nine of wands last week. It's your card. It's your card. It's literally second. It's the attributed a moon in Sagittarius. Okay, and as you know, the moon will be in your sign this week. So you're gonna be fine, is what the nine of wands is saying now. It's saying you're gonna be fine. It's all about perseverance, persevering. But here's the thing: even if you weather some storm, yeah, this week, he also is looking back. So a lot of looking to the past, a lot of looking to, there's it feels like some things are unresolved. There's maybe some unfinished business. I feel like there's maybe a little bit, and that's why I was getting that sense with that two of pentacles. Like, it's just like you may just be like, I don't even care, like I gotta figure, like, this has got to be fixed. And so I want to see that five of cups. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, straight to the six of cups. Yeah, bring people into your world. All right, bring people into your world. And you're going to be fine. Yeah, especially with Chiron being very active. We're in Aquarius season. It's all about connecting with others as well. Yeah, and the six of cups is just a lot of harmony. It's a lot of like you're, tapping into your inner child. It's a lot of sharing and caring, and there's this sweetness here and this sense of comfort. And yes, it may have to do with like children or your children. Remember, your fourth house is so activated. Yeah. And the six of cups, it is, the biggest house in tarot. So, it offers a lot of comfort, security, and you're going to be fine, but you have to move in that direction. Yeah. I want to see this little guy, the two of pentacles. Yeah. I feel like there is going to be like the point where as you move forward, it may be a little like, oh, yeah, with that two of pentacles. But once you have a solid footing and everything makes sense, and you move in the direction of the future. I mean, you have the strength card, which is all about like courage, and it's all about, even, resilience. And there is a sense of like knowing that there are infinite possibilities. Like, you can create them and they exist, and you can have whatever you want, but you have to have that self-love. You have to have that, strength. You have to have that courage. And this is obviously, she's taming the lion, right? But it's just showing, a connection with you, your spirit, your soul. Like, we call it like taming the wild side of us. But it's honestly, it's just saying like knowing to resist the things that you shouldn't be doing, like that, like this, like looking back at the past. So this is empowerment. This is strong empowerment. I'm gonna look at one more. I'm gonna look at that nine of wands for you, and then you got the eight of wands. So with that nine of wands, yeah, don't give up, but also let's move forward. Yeah, let's move forward. Let's do something with these wands. Mm-hmm. And whoosh, you got the eight of wands, which is your card too. Okay, and that is just a lot of movement. Everything starts moving for you in a way where the wands are, they're completely aligning. Yeah, and they're invigorating, and they're thrilling, and they're exciting, and they're fun, and they're wands, it's their passions, and it's a lot of movement. So honestly, there could be just a little bit of like feeling stuck, and holding. There's still some things that you need to release this week, and then you're gonna be fine. You're gonna just, yeah. Sagittarius, and I think that tower moment will be actually good for you. All right, I think that it's gonna help again, clear the decks, and it's got to be something that, well, yeah, I think that is going to be a little bit of like what you needed. All right. Anyway, you're going to be fine. You're going to be great. Next week, we'll talk about it's a big week, right? We got the Saturn, Neptune conjunction. We have the new moon solar eclipse. We have Venus conjunct the North Node. We have a lot next week. And tier 3 members, you know where to find the link for the second spread. Really good and legendary members. We'll talk about the T-square. The moon in your sign squaring Saturn and Pisces, the last for the next 30 years, and it's at 29 degrees. It's potent. We'll talk about Valentine's Day, everything. Anyone's welcome to join. We have a lot of fun, and if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on, Sagittarius. We're good. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.